Hello and welcome to our very first Hearthstone card review. Today we'll be looking at a peculiar card which you will not see very often, the Feng Creeper. This is a 5-cost card which has 3 attack and 6 health. And initially when you look at this card, you're not going to think much of it because it is a 5-cost card with only 3 attack. And that's just not something you'd want. But you have to look at it and say, it's a taunt card with 6 health, which obviously you can get better ones like Druid of the Claw. But initially, if you're an early player, this is actually quite a good card to play when you're starting out because of that 6 health and taunt, which makes it a very good buffer in this sort of earlier gameplay. This card has a lot of things wrong with it, like I said, the 3 attack and the fact that it's just a normal minion. If you look at the card description, it says that it used to be called the Bog Beast for confused players because it wasn't actually a beast. If this was actually a beast card, I would say it would be a very good card worth using in a lot of situations, because that would mean that in like a hunter beast deck, you could buff it, and with that 6 health and taunt with buffs, it would be so useful. I mean, you could see it in so many places, but in its current state, you can't use it very often because it's just not a very good card once you start getting those better cards. Now, in that early when you're first being introduced to the game, it is a good card. It's a very useful card, like I said, just that buffer to stop people just going straight for your face with 6 health and taunt. Very good. You're giving it some good buffs like powered shield, or just anything that would like give it any bonus health. That would be amazing to use with it. But there are a lot of other cards for a similar cost which are just better. Otis Snapjaw comes to mind, which costs 1 less, with 1 less attack and 1 more health. And that doesn't have taunt, but it is probably a better card than the Feng Creeper because of its lower cost. Now, I do quite like the Feng Creeper and do use it in my taunt gimmick deck, just because it's a taunt gimmick deck. But I can say it is quite useful if you are going to use it, if you're an early adopter of the game. It is actually quite a good card, and I would recommend using it up until you start getting like other cards. Now, if you are going to do just like a taunt gimmick deck, I would recommend this. This is a very good card to use in that sort of deck, because a lot of those decks work well with like Druid that can buff you up, even though you've got Druid of the Claw, which would be a better one in that situation. Buffing up this card is very useful, giving it +2/+2, will give it 8 and 5, very useful in many situations. But the card as is just quite useless after you start opening those packs, and that's why I have to give it a 5 out of 10, because it is quite useful when you only start to play the game, but it loses so much of its value after you start opening card packs. Thank you for listening to my first Hearthstone card review. I hope you enjoyed, and see you more later. Goodbye.
For honor.